what I want to say is that I got a perfect example here of from a buddy. Nathan sends me a message, member of the Lunchbox crew, but basically in it, full on May 17th, 18th, and 19th, like, is there a busier time, right? And basically his message is, hey, I have not read anything, listened to anything. I haven't had time to check markets at all. I just need to know from you, Ryan, is it win, lose, or draw right now? Is canola going up, down, sideways? Do I need to make a big decision today? So basically saying, hey, I'm too busy to catch up to anything. Just give me the quick, what do I do here? Do I hold? Do I dump this stuff? What am I doing? And so basically the quick answer was hold, a couple of reasons why, so on and so forth. My point here is that you are extremely busy, and that doesn't change. You're in the growing season, okay? But I want you, if you can, if you have a little rain delay, I know my buddy Aiden south of Saskatoon there, he's had a couple rain delays. His planting, seeding's a little delayed here. It's great to get that precipitation. But for a guy like Aiden, I know he's been doing this because we've been messaging, but you take a minute, you take an hour, maybe a few hours, and just review your crop marketing plan. Dust it off a little bit here, folks. Just take a peek at it, because things are evolving. Prices are changing. Maybe your yield expectations are already being influenced here. I don't want to say one way or the other. I know one rain doesn't make a crop. I also know that a dry week in May doesn't, end the crop either, right? But maybe there's some things here that you want to take a peek at and just dust off the crop marketing plan and review, hey, maybe I have my seeded acres now. Maybe they changed a bit. I can update that. Let's put some yield expectations. Hey, I've had an inch and a half of rain here. Things are looking a little better than what I expected. Maybe I'll take a peek at yields and bump them up 1 or 2 bushels per acre, right? And take a look at that. And then from there, review your contracts. What do I have sold, if anything? Do I have any? You don't have to get to the specifics right away here, but is there anything specifics wise? Act of God on them or not? Just jotting down some notes. Maybe it's as easy as, hey, do I have some fall delivery booked? How important is fall delivery going to be for me? Cash flow wise, space wise, how am I doing when it comes to that part of the plan? And just checking in with your buyers. What do I have sold? Do I have any targets outstanding? Just taking a moment to brush it off. Now, what you can also do is just look at that plan that you set up this winter. You spent your winter coming up with, hey, I'm going to sell at certain price points. I'm going to sell at certain times of the year. Just give yourself a little, how am I doing? If I said I was going to be 20% sold by May 20th, am I there? And if I'm not there, why not? What can I do here to get back on plan, get back on course? So my buddy Nathan, super busy, swamped. He's not going to check that crop marketing plan yet, in May 2021 here. But maybe in the next week when he listens to this podcast, he'll say, oh yeah, I'm going to double check and see how I'm doing here, where I'm at. It's an important time of the year because old crop, number one, things start to slip here. Like when I was a grain buyer, you would get farms holding so many bushels back. So what would happen is they'd have whatever in inventory. They'd plant the crop and then they'd go and spray the crop. Sometimes in between planting and spraying, you'd get a little wave of sales where they say, oh, wow, I got a rain here. I'm going to start cleaning out the bins. Or they'd go and spray it and then say, okay, now I can clean out my bins and move this stuff off. You kind of get that, a little wave of that here. And I'm not saying that's going to sink these markets, but you get that. And then you also have the buyers that say, you know what, we're just going to kick the can now to new crop. New crop's only a few months away. And, we're going to start moving towards those prices. So some of these markets, I look at a green pea today versus the fall. What's going to happen with those prices? I look at yellow peas, not as significant as greens, but what's going to happen there? We also have canola, right? That's a big one. July up, I think it's 715, NOV down at about 680-ish. So there's a pretty decent spread there as well. So don't lose focus on that. But also on new crop, like these markets evolve and change. The first rain, it's not going to make or break the crop. It ain't going to do it yet. But all of a sudden, if you start to string together a couple of rains, and of course, remember, you're busy here. So all of a sudden, you've planted the crop. You're now going to go and spray the crop. In the meantime, a couple rains have happened. And then all of a sudden, you come up for air and it's late June. And you're sitting here saying, how did the canola market lose $1 here? What happened? Or $1.50? What? Wheat at $7? What? I thought it was at $8. Like, that's what happens when you come up for air. Now, I'm not saying that we're here today, that these peaks are here and you got to listen to this and pick up the phone and get after it, but it's just something to be alert and be mindful of, because once you come up for air, often prices have started to make a move here to the downside, and you're chasing a bit. So it's the third week of May here. And this is what I'm spending my time on this week. When you think about crop marketing, I think about the strategies here that I may look at implementing when the market starts to make that turn. When I sit here and say, all right, now we've had a few rains, now things look good. Maybe, there's rumors or rumblings. I shouldn't say rumors, rumblings of acres. The markets start to decline. Hypothetically, we'll say they start to decline. So what I'm doing this week is I am reviewing the strategies that I can execute with grain companies. Again, brokerage account as well. If you got the brokerage account, you reach out to your broker this week and say, hey, let's get a few of these strategies dialed up. Let's get a few of these strategies. Maybe let's execute 40 tons of this, or a couple of contracts, or a small volume. Like, let's get our strategy sorted out so that when I want to pull the parachute here and call it a day and make a big hedge or make a big decision, I know what I'm about. I know what I'm doing. And so, the week before, I sent out a wave of emails, and I knew what was going to happen. So let's say that I emailed 6 different grain companies, and maybe it was Bunge, and maybe it was Viterra, and maybe it was Richardson, and maybe it was Grains Connect, maybe it was G3. And I put an email out to a bunch of these companies, and I said, hey, this is the question I have to ask you. It's about selling grain, and I want you to come back to me with some options. So I said, the question is, I want to sell a hedgeable crop, wheat or canola, and I want to limit or reduce or not have a buyout involved if I don't produce this. Come back to me with the solution that you have for this question. So I want to get some of this sold. I want to protect price, but I want to limit my buyout exposure or reduce it altogether, eliminate it altogether. I got to give kudos to my buddy Allison that responded and said, you already know the answer, Ryan, and we just have the traditional contracts. We don't have anything that you are referencing here. We just have the usuals. But the companies that do have them, the Cargills, the Bunge's, the Viterras, I didn't get any responses from them either. And maybe it's because it's the What the Futures podcast. Probably, even though many of them do tune in and they do get the emails, because when they're on vacation, it bounces back to me and says they're on vacation. So I know they get them, but nobody responded. And what, I don't know. I thought we could have some fun with it. I thought we could go through some fun strategies for some farms and figure out how to reduce risk. But anyways, I digress. I'll move on. And so even though they didn't respond to the email, I'm spending my time here just going through. I can read. I can go to the website. I can talk to my local buyer. They're fine having a discussion as well. Corporate didn't want to jump in here, and going through what's available. All right. So that in the next weeks, whatever it is, I have the strategy ready to rock and roll. Maybe I have 1, maybe I have 2, maybe I have 3. Maybe I'm going to do some type of averaging contract, heaven forbid. Maybe I'm going to figure out how to do a minimum price with a put option strategy. Maybe I'm going to incorporate a call option somewhere. I don't know, but I'm going through all the terminology with these companies, because the reality is, I might want to execute this strategy, but one grain company, one buyer might have a much higher price than the other. Now, of course, if you have a broker, this is a completely different ballpark, completely different and different conversation. So that's what I'm spending my time on this week, just reviewing those strategies and getting ready to execute.